This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Let's play Flo's presser, and we kind of know now that he addressed the quarterback situation and named Fitz the starter. But I wanted to go over the press conference yesterday and a couple of the comments. Go ahead, Bill. Fire off, Mr. Brian Flores, the head coach of your Miami Dolphins.
Brian, who's going to be your quarterback on Sunday?
I mean, look, we're still going through corrections of the game from yesterday. So, as a staff, we normally kind of start talking about this, this evening. I mean, Fitz, I thought we moved the ball, pretty efficiently yesterday. So, look, I understand where everybody's coming from with Tua, and I get all that. At the same time, he's a young player. He's coming off the injury, so we'll make the decision on the starter. But I mean, I would presume that's going to be Fitzpatrick.
Stop it.
Hey, Flo, I know Austin Jackson and Bobby McCain both returned to the game, but how did they come out of it? Austin with the foot injury and then Bobby after the concussion, being tested for the concussion, excuse me.
They're still, both getting treatment. I think, Bobby went back in, played well. Austin went back in, had to come back out. So both, with our medical staff, it's the day after the game. So we got nicks and bruises really in a few different places. So we'll see how it goes throughout the week, and we'll take it from there. But, it's the day after the game. So, guys are bruised up, but we'll see where we're at on Wednesday.
Steve Wine.
Brian, teams react to losing differently. Your players yesterday seemed particularly angry. Do you find encouragement in that reaction?
Yeah, I think our guys, they work hard. They prepare well. We didn't get the things done we talked about getting done. I think they understand that, and they're all competitive. So that's how I felt after the game. So, I mean, they felt the same way. I think it just speaks to how competitive they are, and I think we'll just come back, get back to it on once we start preparing for another good team in the 49ers, and try to turn things around.
Cam?
Hey, Flo, how you doing? I know that you mentioned Tua and his injuries and stuff before, but I know there's two rookie quarterbacks that played so far in Burrow and Herbert. Does their early success have any, influence on maybe how well you think Tua will play once he gets that opportunity?
No, I think every player is different. Every situation is different. So, no, I really don't, look at other players and I don't play the comparison game with, players or really anyone. We're going to do what we feel is best for the Dolphins and for the individual players. Tua or Fitz or Austin Jackson or Robert Hunt or whoever it happens to be. I think it's all case by case. So we don't, look at other situations and make decisions off of what other people are doing. We try to do what's best for us, and we'll make decisions with that in mind.
When you look at this situation and Cam Wolf and what's it called? I think it was Hal that were asking about Tua. I don't think it's one of those. Look, he can't be happy with the end result of all the field goals. He knows he needs more from that offense. But is it more than what the quarterback can give you, or is it more about getting your players healthy? Right now, you got to hope that your left tackle can get healthy enough to play. Preston Williams is not going to be healthy at all this season. Maybe his knee will get better as the year goes on, or it might fatigue as the year goes on because you're putting wear and tear on something that is surgically repaired. And so you haven't built up that stamina. Then you've got your other receiver who is dealing with a hamstring injury and an ankle injury. So right now, are you getting the max out of are you getting the max out of your offense because of your players or because of your quarterback? And right now, I think what the coach is more leaning towards is that Fitz is doing. Think about this, because a lot of you that are set on this whole Tua thing. Okay, so if receivers aren't open and Fitz is running a lot, okay, let me walk you through this, because I think some of you aren't necessarily thinking about this. Okay, I'll give you an example. This week against Seattle, all right, Fitzpatrick rushed the ball. Oh, wait a minute. Hit the wrong one. Here we go. My bad. All right. In this game, Fitzpatrick rushed the ball 6 times for 47 yards. That means guys weren't open. That means that play was done at that moment. So the only way that he could find running, keep the drive alive is running. So do you want Tua running 6 times against Seattle? Huh? Walk me through that. Do you? Because you look at it, and let me go through his game logs, right? And in fact, wait a minute. Here we go. Let me see if I have here the rushing attempts. Rushing attempts. Oh, damn it. All right. I won't be able to do it like this. I'm going to have to go by game. But think about this, okay? If I go for the stats for the year on Tua, on Fitz, okay? For the year, do you know how many rushes this guy has? He has 21 rushes. That means your offense has failed in 21 different situations. Maybe there was a design run there, maybe 1 or 2 or 3, let's say 18 of them. So in the first 4 games, you've run the ball 18 times. Let's just say, out of the play breaking down, those are 18 extra hits that Tua is going to take. And those guys are ruthless. They know he's coming back from a hip injury. Where do you think they're going to aim? So it's not just the sacks. It's not just the hurries and the hits that he's going to take. It's also running, because the offense is not necessarily as productive as you might think it is. So right now, Fitz has to be a runner in order for you to be effective as a football team. And if he's running 22 times in the first 4 games, you do the math. That guy's running practically 6 times a game. 5 point something, whatever you want to, break it down to. I'm sorry, man. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me. I don't know how you want that at this point in time. This is not the right time to play Tua. Go ahead. Continue with the coach.
In weeks and months past, you've been more definitive about Fitz absolutely being your starter, no question about it. Was there something either in the game or when you reviewed the film that gave you pause, that made you wonder, if he's the right guy at this moment?
Oh, the pause was, we haven't even gone through the corrections on the game. We're actually in the middle of that right now, so it wasn't on based off of anything in the game. So I hope you guys don't take that the wrong way. But every week we come in on Monday evening after we make all the corrections. Look, we're a quarter of the way through the season now, so we're gonna, obviously do an evaluation of our team from that standpoint, and try to, play the guys we feel are going to help us turn this thing around and play better in situations like red zone and 2-minute and the fourth quarter, and that'll be at all positions. So, that was kind of a conversation we just had as a staff. So I guess that's what gave me some pause. Not something from the game. We just talked about reevaluating everything, every position, every grouping, and we always do that. After every quarter, let's say, and try to moving forward, do the best, do the things that we've been doing well, and try to continue to build on those, and then obviously improving the things where we haven't had as much success.
Stop it.
Hey Flo, I know 1-3 is obviously not ideal. Especially with regards to the division and playoffs and things like that. It's going to be a long season. How do you kind of take your start into your approach for the rest of the season? Do you guys still feel like you have a great chance to do something special here?
Look, we take this one game at a time. And like you said, it's a long season. We'll take it one game at a time. We got a big test on the road in San Francisco. I think you start thinking about the end of the season and what that's going to look like. I mean, we need to put our energy on this week and our preparation this week. Leave it right there, and then let the results take care of themselves. But if we start thinking about down the road, then that's probably not going to help us all that much.
Josh?
Hey, Flo, good afternoon. I only asked as a follow-up to your first response regarding Tua. Since you did bring address the injury in the answer, in terms of his health, has he checked all the boxes that you guys have looked for in camp and in practices, or are there still any hesitations or lingering questions in regard to either his hip or the mobility?
No, he's checked all the boxes from a medical standpoint. He has. I think we just look. I mean, the honest thing for me is if it was my kid and he had a serious injury like that, I wouldn't want his coach to be in a rush to throw him in there because of media pressure or anything like that. So that's kind of how I approach this situation and really all situations with the players. They, essentially they are my kids. So, there's no one's going to pressure me into doing anything. When we feel like he's ready to go, we'll put him in.
Cam?
Hey, Flo, we saw, I guess Shaq got hurt yesterday with the shoulder. How's he doing, and was there any other injuries that you guys came out of from the game?
I mean, guys are banged up. We had a few different guys were banged up. You mentioned Shaq. So he had looked like he had a shoulder. He went out, went back in. I guess he's sore today, but I think he'll be okay. Honestly, he's a tough guy, and he wants to be out there. So, but we had a couple other guys who were banged up, and I'm hopeful that we'll get most everybody back Wednesday.
All right, Coach, we have one more question for Joe Shad.
Flo, I was going to ask you about Byron Jones. He was pretty hopeful when he spoke at the end of the week, but then ended up being listed as doubtful. How hopeful are you that he has a good chance to get back this week?
Yeah, well, he had a good week last week, like he mentioned to you guys. Again, we just felt like it wasn't, ready all the way ready to go this week. But we're hopeful that this week, last week I should say, but we're hopeful that this week we'll see him a little bit more in practice, and then if he does well in practice, then he'll play next week.
There you go. That's the head coach, Brian Flores, addressing the media yesterday. We went over his comments is obviously the Tua situation becomes the main topic, which has been from the second you drafted him.